What is up, people of YouTube? So you want to see 4 things that I like about the Mercedes C Class W204. This is a 2007 to 2014 model, and this particular car that I'm driving right here is a C220 CDI from 2007. Now, I've been driving the car now for about, well, sorry, before I start with that, just want to explain the hat. It's absolutely freezing in here. I've just started the car, so I'm waiting for the heaters to warm up. So it's very cold here. It's in the minus. So that's the reason for the hat. So yeah, so I've been driving this car for a few months now. Got to know it quite well, and I've always wanted one of these cars for as long as I can remember. As long as they were released onto the market, I wanted one. This is the saloon model. To be honest with you, the car that I really fell in love with was the estate version. However, I knew this car was only going to be a stopgap, so it didn't really matter which one I bought. I liked the saloon, but I loved the estate version. In the end, the one which was available at the right time, at the right price, was this particular saloon. So, as I say, I've always loved the car. Never previously driven one before I bought this one. So, what I did first of all is, as I got to know the car, I started compiling a list of things that I wasn't really sure about, didn't really like. So I've created a video, which is on YouTube now, of 5 things that I actually hate about the car. And now it's the turn of things that I actually like about the car. And in all honesty, I've suddenly found that the list of things I hate about the car massively outweighs the things I actually like about the car. But that doesn't mean that I don't actually like the car. I do like the car, and I'll tell you for why, well, coming up right now. So the first thing that drew me to this particular car, and also, you know, the W204 in the first place, is simply the looks of the car. I've always found it to be just that little step above the rest. This is the sport model, so yes, it does have the sportier kit on, and it looks a little bit sportier. But the C Class, the standard version, that looks good as well. I think there is a bit of a difference. There is a massive difference looks-wise between the sport and the regular version, but they both look good. But I thought, you know, I only really want to go down the sport route because, you know, I've only got it for a few months. Some might say, well, what does it matter if you've got a sport or not? And you could be right, but I just wanted to sort of satisfy my own curiosity about it, because, like I say, I've always loved the car. So the looks, to me, absolutely love it. Way better than the W203, which was the C Class that this came after. And I don't know, I would possibly even say that I still prefer it over the W205, which is the current C Class. So yes, it looks way better than any Mondeo, any Kia, any even things like Jaguar. To be honest, I think it looks way better than their saloons. Possibly even the BMWs, the E90s, which are the equivalent. That's the BMW 3 Series. So I think this is probably one of the best looking saloon cars out there, even on the road right now, for this kind of money. Yes, you can go and buy a Panamera, which I think looks beautiful, but you're not going to buy one of them. At the minute, the prices of them are 30 grand, whereas I went out and paid £5,000 or something for this car. So yeah, so looks is the first thing on the list, and that's what initially, I think that's what initially drives people to a car, or makes people stand up and think, oh, that car might be for me. I'll look into it a little bit further. So that's always the first step. So yeah, so that's the first thing, and we'll move on to the second thing now, and that is the comfort of the vehicle. Now, for those of you who've watched my video on 5 things that I actually hate about the car, you will notice this also features in that video, because I love the comfort because it's comfortable. Because you're driving along and if the car just feels very smooth. You don't really feel bumps in the road. You don't feel any cracks or rattles as you're driving along. But that is also why I hated the car, because it's a sport car and you don't want it to feel, you know, very bouncy and smooth in a sort of sports car, I believe anyway. I know it's a sports saloon, it's a difference to a sports car, but that's the way I think. I think the well, anyway, watch the video, the 5 things that I hate about it, and you'll see what I mean. But with regards to the comfort of this car, yes, I do love it. It's very, very comfortable. The seats are very comfortable, very easy to move. Everything is within reach. The radio system is very easy to use. All I've got is a little knob here, and I can, a little knob. All I've got is a little toggle switch, let's call it, right here, and that can allow me to sort of go through my stations without even looking at the screen. It's just a very small, minimalistic screen. Buttons are very well set out and easy to use. With modern day cars, I think it's very easy for them to just slap a big multimedia screen in there. And I've actually driven a few cars with those and I absolutely hate them. I much prefer something with a nice button where you can just, you know exactly what you're doing, you know that the button's being pressed. And with this, you know, you can toggle through your options very, very easily without barely taking your eyes off the road, a split second at a time. But the seats are very comfortable. The leg room is comfortable in the front for the driver. Headroom is absolutely fine. Very spacious to put my arm on the window sill here if I need to. So yeah, it is very, very comfortable. Sorry, I was just checking that the microphone was on there because I had a fear that the microphone had been switched off and you were just looking at audio and no video, or should I say video and no audio. Anyway, there's a school coming up here on the right hand side which was closed down because they had too many schools and not enough pupils, and now they've got too many pupils and not enough schools, yet all the schools that they previously closed are now being turned into flats because they're listed buildings and things like that. Anyway, that's completely off topic. So that's the second thing that I love about this car. The third thing that I like about this car, it is the miles per gallon. It's very fuel efficient. I know they're two completely different cars, but I was yesterday doing a video on 5 things I love about the Porsche 911 991, that's the current model, and I was absolutely ecstatic because that car was getting 20.2 miles per gallon. So that's a Porsche 911 though. They're two completely different cars. This particular vehicle, I'm not sure exactly how to find out if there's something I can do. Yeah, so at the minute I'm getting 30, on this 8-mile run I'm getting 32.9 miles per gallon, and that's just driving around the doors. On a run, it's absolutely not impossible to get sort of mid to low 40s, which is good. But 32.9 for a sports saloon, which is just driving around the streets, I think is particularly good. It's a 2007 model. Remember, hasn't got stop start. It hasn't got all the bells and whistles that a brand new sports saloon would have. So 32.7 right now, I think is pretty good, and I'm pretty happy with that. The figures, which were produced from Mercedes, I think you're looking at, I think they said something like 50s for motorway runs, low 50s for motorway runs. I think for driving around the streets like I am now, I think it was about 31, and combined is about 42. So I suspect we will probably get, driving right now, just on the streets that I'm driving on, you're going to be looking at 32-ish, 33-ish, which is okay, that's fine. So that's what I like about the car. To be honest with you, I have been driving it a few months, and yes, I've got a few other cars, but I can only remember having to fill it up about twice in that time. And I don't even, maybe it's even once, to be honest with you. And I generally I just fill it up, and then, you know, don't even need to think about it again. So that's, yeah, I think I've only filled it up once actually. Obviously, I filled it up when I bought it because I did quite a big trip to drive it back. And then I even got home with half a tank. So then I used that tank up, which probably took a while, and I filled it again, and I've still got a quarter of this tank left. So yeah, look, that's pretty good, that actually. So there you go. I'll be selling the car soon anyway. As I say, I only bought it for a stopgap. So the miles per gallon on this is something that I really, really like about it. Very happy with the miles per gallon. And if I was keeping this for my daily car, then I see no problem with the miles per gallon that I'm getting. In fact, the car we've replaced this with is a Kia Sportage, a brand new Kia Sportage, and that only gets about 31, 32, 33 miles per gallon. So it's really no different in the miles per gallon, and that's a 4x4, it's a big 4x4 as well. So that's the third thing that I love. And yeah, to be honest with you, the fourth thing that I love is, well, it's the last thing that I love about the car. And I'd been doing a bit of reading on these before I actually bought the car as well, and I was very impressed with previous owners on what they'd managed to do with the cars. With regards to mileage, the engines on these cars have been suitably labelled as bulletproof, and I can see why, to be honest with you. This particular car that we're in right now, let me just get back, has covered 173,538 miles, and it shows no signs whatsoever of slowing down. It is a bulletproof engine. Now, I'm talking about the engine. Doesn't necessarily mean the parts which fix onto the engine are also going to run that far. If you look at the video that I made about 5 things that I hate, you will see that I have had to replace quite a few parts. I've had to replace things like glow plugs, map sensor. Those are day-to-day, you know, well, not day-to-day, but you know, those parts do have a shelf life, and they will all need to be replaced. But it's good that they need to be replaced, because they are what will keep your engine running healthily, and the way it was designed to. So that's what I love about the car. Yes, you've got to upkeep the engine, you've got to maintain the engine, you've got to treat it well. Well, this engine has been treated very well, and there's a reason why it's on 173,000 miles, and not because somebody's been driving it a lot. It's because it's been well maintained. You'll get some engines which won't even get anywhere near this. I have seen some owners who've stated 300,000 and 400,000 miles on these engines, which is phenomenal. I dare say there are people out there who've got even further on them. Great, absolutely brilliant. I wonder if anyone's ever got to 1 million miles on one of these engines. Probably. I seen a video a few months ago of a little old man in America who had a little Honda Civic, and he bought it from new, and it's probably about 50-year-old, that car now. But that covered 1 million miles, and there was a big news story on it anyway. So that's the fourth thing that I love about the car. Unfortunately, there's not a great deal more. Yes, I do like the car. This particular car needs a little bit of TLC. It's a bit rough around the edges, but that didn't bother me because I was buying it knowing all of this. Would I have another one again if I was to get a lower mileage car and a car which was a little bit better bodywork wise, and you know, more aesthetically pleasing? Then yeah, I think I would get another one. If it came to me needing another day-to-day car, I would certainly have no qualms in going back to one of these. It's like anything really though, you know, if the car's been looked after, it'll look after you. If you look after your car, it'll look after you. You know, every single car you buy, you will need to buy serviceable items. You'll need to get the car serviced. You'll need new tyres, brakes, things like that. That's obvious. But show me a car that's probably gone this far, say 173,000 miles, and hasn't needed a new MAF or new coils or new plugs, new whatever. So it's a testament to the build quality, I think, that Mercedes have put into this. And you know, when you shut the door, you just feel safe inside the car. You don't feel like a Fiesta where it's like, and it feels like you might be able to just put your elbow through the door. It's not like that at all. This is a really good car. I do love it. I would have another one, but there are things that I don't like about it as well, which I've previously touched on in my other video. So thanks for watching this video. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it is at driver81. We'll put the link to our website. If you need any diagnostics for your Mercedes-Benz, by all means, click on the website, just search Google for Diagnostic World, or I'll put the link directly below this video in the comments section. And other than that, have a great day. I hope you found this useful. If you have, give it a thumbs up. If not, still give it a thumbs up, or I will hunt you down. I'm just kidding. I won't hunt you down. But it'd be nice to get a thumbs up because, well, it's nice to get a thumbs up, isn't it? Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.